Welcome to Impact Makers Radio, featuring industry thought leaders sharing problem-solving insights to help grow your business and live the life you love. And here's your host, Stewart Andrew Alexander.
Hi, and welcome to another Let's Talk Divorce conversation. And on this segment of the show, ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy to say that we finally have Certified Matrimonial Attorney Bari Weinberger, owner and founder of Weinberger Divorce and Family Law Group in New Jersey. Now, Bari, who has a wealth of experience in the area of family and matrimonial law, will be talking to you today about, this sounds really interesting, the 5 dangers to avoid before filing for divorce. Now, that sounds very interesting. So if you are one of the many individuals in the New Jersey area and you are, considering your options for divorce, it might be a good idea just to give yourself a break. Log out of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or anything else you happen to be doing which may cause a distraction. And you know something? You may even want to grab a notepad and pen and take some notes as we listen in to what Bari has to share with us today. So, with that said, she's a very, very busy lady. Let's not keep her waiting any longer. Welcome to the show, Bari.
Thank you for having me, Stuart.
You are so welcome, my dear. Let's jump feet first in, hand in hand. The water is so fine, believe me, Bari. In your own words, briefly, describe the kinds of people who you serve and the various types of situations they find themselves in when they reach out to you for your help.
Absolutely. Clients come to us because they are dealing with very difficult or sensitive family matters. You may be experiencing domestic violence or thinking about filing for divorce or have child custody, child support, alimony concerns, or are considering adopting a child or entering into a prenuptial agreement before marriage even. Our firm is different because we exclusively handle divorce and family law matters. This is what we are passionate about. We're here for people in New Jersey to serve all of their divorce and family law needs.
Okay, so before we go any further, Bari, it must be said that anything you share with us today is not legal advice or even legal assistance. It's purely for the purpose of disseminating information. Can we both agree on that then, Bari?
Yes, absolutely. It's important for each person to get their unique situation heard in a unique capacity.
Okay, so with that said, when you think about those people who you just described, the ones who you help, what's the most common misconception you come across while you're helping your clients on a day-to-day basis?
So when you consider your divorce, you might not realize how important it is to think calmly and strategically right from the very start, from the moment that you decide to file. There's a common misconception that decisions in a divorce don't happen or don't matter until you sit down at a mediation table or go before a judge. But this isn't true. You're actually making decisions from the moment that you decide to divorce, extremely important ones. What can seem like small choices made during the initial filing process can actually have extraordinarily large impact on your divorce. When mistakes are made, the impact can unfortunately they can have a very long-lasting negative one.
Based on what you just shared with us, and obviously keeping your client's confidentiality in mind, please share an example or even a case study, so to speak, of how you've helped or even how you would go about helping somebody who came to you with that challenge, that misconception you just described, and what kind of transformational results you were able to, or on a whole, generally would be able to gain for them.
Yeah, sure. So here's a situation that I commonly see when clients come in with questions about their anticipated divorce, often in a situation where they've already tried to go about getting a divorce on their own, for instance. gathering together your financial information in preparation for divorce is often critical. Though your family lawyer can assist you with this task in time, so don't be overwhelmed if you're not aware of all the financial details at the beginning. These types of documents would include like tax returns, income statements, business records, and itemization of various assets and debts that you've accrued during your marriage and such. But the big mistake that clients make is assuming that an asset or a debt in only their name or only their spouse's name automatically translates to that asset being deemed to be separate property and therefore will not then factor into their divorce, meaning that each person whose name is on that asset will then keep it for themselves. So, for example, maybe there's a credit card that only has your wife's name on the statement. Mm-hmm. It's natural to think, well, it's only in her name, or her name is only on it, so then I'm not going to be responsible for any of it. Clients will then decide that they're not going to bother disclosing this information in what document that we consider as a case information statement. And that's a document that is considered to be a financial statement, which is vital to the global case. And we use it in ultimately negotiations and settlement and a presentation in the court. Mm-hmm. But this is a huge mistake. Don't be misled by how your accounts are personally titled. Having an asset in your name alone doesn't necessarily mean that the account is exempt from being shared, nor are you necessarily absolved from paying a debt titled in your spouse's name. For instance, if you have an IRA in your name, which you began contributing to during the course of your marriage, it is actually considered a marital asset subject to equitable distribution in New Jersey. So as you go about starting the divorce process, make a point to identify all assets and liabilities, including business interests, your home, all accounts like bank accounts, brokerage accounts, retirement accounts, inheritances even, and all debts, including mortgages, car leases, outstanding credit cards, and such. And then speak with your family law attorney about how best to protect each and every one of your individual interests. Mm-hmm. Because entering divorce with erroneous or incomplete financial information can literally set you up for a divorce nightmare, as once asset-related mistakes need to be fixed, it can very much be costly to you.
Right. So today's topic then, Bari, is 5 dangers to avoid before you file for divorce. Now, I'm not sure whether you've actually touched on some of those dangers in your previous answer. If not, could you just briefly explain what those 5 dangers are?
Well, there are a number of dangers, and we can talk about some very specific pitfalls, for instance, when you're going through this process, those dangers, those pitfalls, and there are many. So as an example, many people don't understand implications, for instance, of the date that they file their complaint for divorce. The date that you file is important. For example, if your spouse continues to contribute to a 401k plan after the filing of the complaint for divorce, then you, the non-contributing party, will lose any share of those post-divorce filing contributions. So in other words, the filing date of the complaint for divorce fixes what we call a cutoff date for equitable distribution purposes of that 401k and other retirement plans and benefits. The equitable distribution period is considered to be the date of the marriage to the date that the complaint for divorce is filed. So it's necessary to keep that in mind, and it's a danger not to. It's a pitfall not to. So if you're the spouse who's filing papers, do your research in advance and think strategically before moving forward with your complaint. Another pitfall is that people may choose the wrong grounds for divorce. In the complaint for divorce paperwork, you have to choose from a list of the grounds for divorce that are available here in the state of New Jersey. So in a situation, as an example, where one spouse is sleeping in another bedroom for many months than their husband or their wife, one of these grounds that we have available in the state of New Jersey is called separation. This oftentimes gives the impression to be the best choice available. But what people don't understand is that in legal terms, separation in New Jersey actually has a different meaning than residing in different bedrooms. You have to actually reside in different homes for at least 18 months. Obviously, very different meanings. So one of the dangers is choosing the wrong grounds for divorce. Because if and when it comes to light that you chose the wrong ground, you will then have to either amend your original complaint for divorce and or file a notice of motion in order to proceed with your actual divorce process, thereby causing either delays or added costs or both. So be careful about these types of situations and talk candidly with your divorce lawyer, with your family law attorney, so that these mistakes are not made. Another danger, another pitfall which often occurs is when you are defendant, and that defendant, as defendant, you don't respond to the divorce papers that you receive. In New Jersey, if you are a defendant, you have 35 days from the date that you receive a complaint for divorce, that package, that paperwork, when you're served with those documents in order to respond with any counterclaims, meaning I also want a divorce, or these are the reasons I too want to move forward with the process, or other types of appearances. If you fail to respond within that 35 days, you're essentially handing over control of your divorce settlement to your spouse and to a judge, and there's a strong possibility that a default judgment may be entered against you. So having divorce papers served on you is a very serious matter. Take a deep breath, open the envelope, read what is there. You can contact a family law attorney to guide you in how to respond. I know that it can be emotional, of course it can, but at the same time, remember, there are professionals who handle these types of matters every single day as their trade, and they can help lessen the anxiety and discuss the process with you so that you're better able to proceed in a reasonable fashion. Another pitfall and another danger is that you perceive being negatively connotated with this defendant label. Really, it should not be so. As an example, it should be recognized that the person who serves and files their divorce complaint first will always, in the divorce matter, be labeled as the plaintiff. Many of you will automatically identify receiving a divorce package and becoming the defendant in the process as the wrongdoer. That's not accurate. It may be in some cases, but the reality is that's not how the court perceives it. So if you have been served a complaint for divorce and you are the defendant, you are not perceived as somebody who did something wrong. It just means you're filing second. The person who files first in family law, a divorce complaint, that person is always going to be the plaintiff throughout the entire matter if it's in a divorce situation. So that's something to be considered. and something to take in and to pause about, because oftentimes there's a lot of emotion surrounding that aspect. Oh boy, I'm named as the defendant. What should I do? Or, oh, the court is going to negatively perceive me because I didn't file fast enough, or I am going to file second.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to a lawyer about how that is going to be recognized.
Okay, Barry, this is just absolutely amazing that you've gone into such great detail to explain those pitfalls. So thank you so much for doing that.
My pleasure.
You're so welcome. You kind of got me curious now, Barry. Without going into your backstory or your background, because we're going to speak about that very shortly, but could you just share with us, how many years have you been a practicing matrimonial attorney?
Oh, essentially 20 years.
In those 20 years, well, that's a long time. You must have helped a lot of people. Would it be safe to say that a successful divorce process can mean different things for different people?
Absolutely.
So when you think about all those clients that you've helped then, Barry, the ones that you've helped to achieve the transformation they were looking for when they initially reached out to you, on a deep down personal level, what does it actually give you, and how does it make you feel?
Complete and utter satisfaction. There's no question about it. You're talking to people, you're assisting people at a time when it is it's hard to say, but next to a moment of tragedy in their life, whether it's losing a loved one to a passing event, you are talking to people who are in a process of grieving oftentimes, and they need to transition from a very awful situation where they are in a situation where they're dividing their family and they're at a crossroads. Many times in long-term marriages, unsure of themselves, they have stressors, they have anxieties, there's depression involved many times. And when I say satisfaction, it's not because I am eager to see people in this type of situation, but there's a tremendous amount of optimism when I am able to help so many good people catapult from a rough situation, a traumatic situation in their lives, in the lives of their children or their families, and open up a brand new door and liberate themselves so that they get from a rough spot into a more positive opportunity, whether it be from a personal opportunity or a more positive opportunity from out of a domestic violence situation where there was a dangerous household, or alternatively they find new love. There's so many wonderful new stories. I've been to new baby showers, new weddings. I've been to holiday dinners with some of my former existing clients. Some of my very, very closest and best friends have been these amazing clients of mine. You learn the ins and outs, and it's a very intimate relationship that you build, the trust and the confidence level, and you share your most intimate details with your clients, and they do with you, and you have to build that tremendous bond.
Could you just spend a brief moment telling us a little bit about your backstory, and especially your formal education and experience as it relates to the topic of family and matrimonial law?
Well, sure. Briefly, I earned my undergraduate and law degree in Massachusetts, and I've devoted my entire practice exclusively to divorce and family law ever since. I had a judicial law clerkship with a family law judge on the bench, of course, and I am designated by the Supreme Court of New Jersey as a certified matrimonial attorney, which is achieved by only 2% of the attorneys in the state of New Jersey. As you indicated before, and thank you, I'm the owner and managing partner of Weinberger Divorce and Family Law Group, and my full bio is on the firm website. Our team of experienced family law attorneys, who I'm super proud of, understand how to seamlessly guide our clients through every aspect of the most amicable to the most highly complex divorce and family law matters. And globally, our mission really is to safeguard families and children, protect assets, and secure our clients' future. That's what we're founded upon.
For those individuals who are, they find themselves in that unfortunate position where they're considering their options for divorce, and they're listening in right now or even sometime in the future as this show will be online, what final thoughts would you like to impart with them before we finish up with our last question for today?
If you have kids, it's really important to establish an agreement that outlines the time your children will spend with both of you until a final custody order is agreed upon in your divorce. You can go to a judge to file a motion for a temporary custody and parenting time order, or you can work out with the help of your attorneys such a plan. The certainty of a parenting time schedule, it's such a crucial part of helping children adjust to their family's new arrangement, and I cannot really impress upon you how relevant and significant that is, so that parents can work with the children in that regard, or work toward the children's well-being and adjustment in that regard. Also, for you as a parent, an agreement protects your time and access to your children, so it's genuinely significant for all involved and not something to overlook.
So if there is somebody who's listening in right now, Bari, and they feel like they want to know more, they need to know more about what to do before filing for divorce, how can they reach you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
I encourage you to visit our website. It's weinbergerlawgroup.com, WeinbergerLawgroup.com or WLG.com to learn more about our firm. It's really a comprehensive arsenal of information for those ready to either begin the process or those who need more time but want to become better informed and to do so behind the scenes so that they can research regarding their personal issues, because all of the issues are so intricate and unique to every individual. We have 6 offices throughout the state of New Jersey, and it's important to understand that we also offer free attorney consultations, and they're confidential. But sometimes just reading the information on the website could be valuable and helpful to those who just want a moment of peace and quiet and sanctity in their own room, at their own time, at their own pace. But so visit the website because it has details, and naturally anybody can contact us by just giving us a call. The telephone number is 888-888-0919. Many people think it's just not a viable number, but it's redundant for a reason, so it's easy to remember. Yeah. It's 888-888-0919.
Fantastic. I think even I can remember that number, Bari. So thanks for sharing that. So unfortunately, oh my goodness, the time has flown so quickly, but unfortunately we are out of time. I get a feeling that we've only began to scrape the tip of the iceberg with the amount of insights that Bari could have shared with us today, but we do have to go. So Once more, as a reminder, we have been listening to Certified Matrimonial Attorney Bari Weinberger. Thank you so much for sharing so generously with us today, Bari. You have certainly demonstrated that you are a true educator, advocate, and trustworthy advisor for your client's success. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I genuinely appreciate it.
You are so welcome, my dear. And I'd also, in the same breath, like to take a moment to say a big thank you to you. Yes, you, the listener. Without you, we wouldn't have anybody to talk to. So thank you for joining us on what I can only describe as a very insightful and informative conversation with one of the leading certified matrimonial attorneys in New Jersey today. Again, her name is Bari Weinberger. Make sure you do check her out. Give her a call. She shared her very unique phone number. Visit her website. There are some fantastic resources on there. And I'm sure after listening just for a short while to Bari today that whatever you do decide to do, you're going to be in a great place to start addressing your current situation. So that's it for today, folks. Again, my name is Stewart Andrew Alexander, and we'll be back shortly with some more leading family law professionals in this, our series of Let's Talk Divorce Conversations. So, until then, take care, have a great day, and we'll talk real soon.
Thank you for tuning in to Impact Makers Radio. To listen to all past, present and future industry thought leaders and trendsetters, visit us at impactmakersradio.com.